Hello everyone, this is Sachi. I play CLERIC. This is going to be a guide on DPS CLERIC. So this is the gear that you want for Lair of the Mad Mage, roughly. Let's start off with the hat, Critique's Crown Coif. I run this over the other coif for the critical avoidance. Since we don't really need extra combat advantage, you'll probably cap it somewhere else. At the moment I run Ebony Stained Hide because my armor pen's still a bit low, but a lot of the time people will have armor pen overcapped, so I recommend the Ebonized Scale Mail, just because it will give you some deflection that you wouldn't have otherwise. They have everything else the same. Everything power reinforced, the +1 power kits. I run the Trapper Arms in most scenarios just for the extra encounter power damage. Spike Defenders are okay if you get hit a lot, and it will give you some extra power, but that's only 1k power for up to 6% more damage, I guess, but I think the uptime on the Trappers is better because it's just consistent. Star Rovers might be okay if you run a lot, but I feel like I'll stop too often for them not to work. The Successor Arms, or the newer ones, they aren't too bad for trash fights because of 5% power. So I'd probably run those in trash and primals in bosses, because primals are the best at giving you the power bonus. I think that's enough said, like 1% proc. Even at 144k power, that's 1.5% damage, so you hit twice and you've got better than Trapper. But they are lower item levels, so they've got 1.4k less power, so you do have to proc it 3 times. I run Rusted Boots with Tacticals and Utility. Just with the Boon and I think 5 Tacticals, I've got 1.5% incoming, so that's fine for any endgame healer to heal through. And if your healer is trash, you can just swap into like Infernal Forge, which are good for boss fights. For trash, you might be able to run Root Stompers for 2%, 2.5% damage when you're further away from your target. Or if you've I haven't got them at the moment because I don't really use them. So I've got the Rusted, the Primal Boots, 3% AP gain when you kill an enemy. That's better for rogues or something, but it's not too bad for a cleric. For the artifact set, run the Trobriand set. It'll give you a bonus when the enemies aren't facing you and use a daily power. The Wyvern set's not too bad. As you can see, it's got the Dex and Intel, which is the 2 ability scores that we use. I run Dex over Charisma. That's because as much as Companion Influence and Recharge Speed is nice, Crit Severity and Movement Speed is better, because more movement speed will get you more damage through the trash fights and clear dungeons faster, especially when you're already endgame and you can one-shot most things. Crit Severity, it's basically half of whatever your Crit Severity is your average damage that you gain from it, past 100%. I'm not too sure on that one, but Crit Severity is good, and if you kill Boons, you want to run Crit Severity if you have it. It's better than the power bonus, especially when you're over 150k power. For defense, if you've got Rusted, run Incoming Healing, unless you've got like an Incoming Healing companion and stuff like that, then you can run the HP for defense or crit avoidance. They're all good options. You should be running Revive Sickness, but my guild doesn't have it, so I actually don't run a utility. I've actually done that on all my loadouts. I don't really need the extra 500 item level. I don't need mount movement speed, even though I don't have a leg mount. I don't need it. And plus, it keeps me under 24k, which is really good for LOM, because all my stats remain the same. Ebony Stained Shirt for a shirt for the extra 3% damage most of the time. In trash fights it's not too hard to keep up. In boss fights it's pretty good. I use the Infernal Forge pants just for power, defense and crit avoidance. Ebony Raid Ring, I think it speaks for itself, 3% damage. Guiding Ring with Spy, again 3% damage. That's for all ranged powers. As a cleric, your main powers are encounter, so Trapper's gonna do, it's basically 3%, If you average it through your at-wills, dailies, and artifact powers, it's probably 2.5%, maybe 2. For stats, you want to have pretty much 80k armor pen, defense, crit avoidance over 60k is nice, accuracy 80k, deflect and awareness not really notices. Combat advantage 135k is pretty good. This is all Tom stats. For crit severity, I've got 111 unbuffed. Those slower stats don't matter too much as long as you've got incoming healing. Crit severity is more of a priority than power, to be honest. Let's see. Oh yeah, for armor enchantment I use Bark Shield. For weapon enchantment, I think Balethorn is the best, but I just use Vorpal because I swap between DPS and Cleric. It's more versatile. Offense slots, all Radiant, rank 12. One of them is a Tenebrous enchantment. I don't think rank 10 is enough to justify using it, but I just use it anyway. Eventually everything should be rank 15. For defense, I use Demonics for HP, deflection and crit avoidance. It's not too bad, it's not the worst. I'm not sure if Gigantic is better, but Radiance is what most people use, because the little defense doesn't help much. Another one, Brutal, I think that's HP and defense. I have a Brutal lying around. Yeah, it's HP and defense, so actually Brutal's probably better. For artifact set, I'm using Burnished. It's pretty good. Like before Lionheart, Burnished, Watcher, Alabaster, they're all fairly similar. Alabaster is probably best for trash fights. I forget the buff on Watcher, but it's pretty good. And then Burnished is okay for boss fights and stuff. For artifacts, I just use the new ones. The Wyvern, I had the set, that's why I've got that. It's got a good buff if someone's looking for a buffing artifact. Trobian's Ring, 3k power. Music Box, 1.5k power. Staff is 3k power. That's the main reason you run things. Sometimes I swap to Sigil of the Cleric, just because it gives me an extra 1000 power. But if you look at my stats, you can see I do need the armor pen at the moment. Okay. Appearance doesn't matter. Powers. Actually, no, I'm going to do this next. That's a big section. We're going through boons. Campaign boons. You want to go all the power ones. Companion influence, movement speed, recharge speed, and crit severity. Here I put some combat advantage and some crit, which I don't need anymore. So I can probably change that to armor pen. Actually, I'll do that after the video. You can choose Bloodlust. I've only got 2 out of 3. I haven't been bothering with boons. They're really annoying. But you want to max that. If you've already got your offense capped, I would just go for some HP, maybe defense. Probably just go all the way up on HP with the remaining points. For companions, I've got a few. I recommend probably just the Bullet Pup. I don't know if Rat Pup's better, but it's another good option. Same with Polar Bear Cub. Anything with the extra power. But yeah, combat advantage, defense and power is ideal. My defense isn't capped yet. Combat advantage is always good to have heaps of, and power, you need to stack that wherever you can. Bonning's rank 15 should be the Gold Leaf Grimoire for 12k combat advantage. The purple version of this for defense combat advantage. And then armor pen crit strike for the last one. I'm pretty sure it's ideal unless you get like other gear that changes your stats up, but that should be good. Utility, Baby Owlbear, Minstrel in your defense slot, obviously legendary is ideal. Baby Deep Pro and 1 offense. And this setup's more of a tanky one, but in the end you want to have a Tame Velociraptor right here, and then your Ghost in the bottom corner. That'll get your power up by another few thousand. Mounts, all dominance. I run 2 Artificer's Persuasion. The second of the same power